Happy Monday, y'all. Y'all hear that? That drain's loud. He got a good suction. Buddy done good when he built that, didn't he? But y'all, it's Monday. I told y'all I was going to do a video. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. I got so busy mopping floors and cleaning and cleaning up artwork from Mr. Mo. Yeah, I had to wash bathroom wall this morning. There was little hand prints, muddy at that. Here. I guess he's holding on to the wall, get his clothes off and get in the shower. Yeah, he left behind some artwork. That's all right. It's all cleaned up, ready for him next time he comes, which will be probably next weekend. Oh, we have a game on Thursday if it don't get rained out, so we'll be able to do a live this Friday. It's been a while. So, I totally forgot about doing a video. And I was in here. Y'all know what that is. A canner. And I was fixing to can for the first time this year. I was like, well, wait a minute. Share with your friends. So I'm sure a lot of y'all have canned green beans. I'm sure a lot of y'all have canned carrots. Have you ever canned them together? And the reason why I say that is, look what I got. Now it's dripping. Look what I picked this morning. And yeah, I didn't want to wait 2 more days for another batch to come in because we're going to can these. But y'all, that ain't enough to fill that canner up. So, what am I adding to it? Something Mr. Buddy got. I told y'all about him going to Kroger. The hitting the dollar aisle. It's right there by his job. And you go between like 7 and 10 in the morning. So if y'all got a Kroger, go to the produce. Fruits and vegetables. There may be 1 bad apple and you get 8. That's perfect for $1. You can get 2 heads of cauliflower. Might be a little tarnish on one, but cut it off. It's great. You even get scraps for your chickens. But you also can get, let me lower the camera. Y'all look at this. This is 5 pounds of organic carrots. Now I've had them, this is the second run. I had them, I washed them, I got them soaking in ice water with salt. I rinsed all that off. Now they're back in ice water till I was ready for them. Now mind you, they're not the carrots you have to sit there and dice, which is what I prefer. I'll can these all day long. 5 pounds for $5 and they're organic. I mean, it says it's organic, so we must trust, right? I couldn't beat it. And I was like, okay, I want to can carrots. I got green beans. We're going to do them together. Because some of you may know this, some of you may not. Get you a ball book now for you new beginning canners. Don't be just watching YouTube or watching me and going, oh, she's right, he's right. Get you a ball book. But green beans is 20 minutes a pint, 25 for a quart. Carrots, 25 minutes for a pint. So you say, well, how can you do them together? Green beans is 20, carrots is 25. I'm going to go 25 on my green beans. I'm cold packing them. So that extra 5 minutes is not going to make enough difference in texture for me to have to wait. Because, y'all, we got storms and all. Who knows what's going to happen? So, yes, I'm going to fill up as many pints as I can with these green beans. We're going to do carrots, put them in a canner. And instead of 20 minutes for green beans, we're going to do 25 across the board. And we got 2 vegetables canned. You know, little bitty steps. I may only get 3 pints, but that's 3 pints of green beans, more than what I had when I woke up this morning. And most of you that's followed me, you know that's how Lippy rolls. And then I'll go to Ed Lester's, which is a farm about an hour away, and I will buy up fresh vegetables because they have some beautiful, beautiful vegetables, guys. They don't spray them with a bunch of chemicals. And then I will buy what I feel we need put up for the winter. It's called supplementing. I mean, we don't have the biggest garden. We have 2,500 square feet or 3,000 square feet. And then through the middle, we can add more, but that requires getting more dirt. So it's baby steps. Now, canning salt. Y'all know I don't use anything else when I can but canning salt. You can use any salt except for iodized salt. Don't do it. It's going to cloud your jars. Just don't do it. It's not good. And plus, I don't honestly know if it's safe. I was taught never to do that, but I was also taught the old pickling canning salt. And what I do, you see I got a piece of blue painter's tape. Y'all know I love this stuff. Well, it was already on here because I'd only got a little bit out that I needed for the last canning last year. This is how I store for this year's canning. I use the same jar. I take and I put a label, the label that comes off the box. So people know if they look in the pantry, oh, that's canning salt. So it's just so much easier. And then by taping it, it doesn't get all hard and yucky. Oh, got it wrong. So yeah, if you don't use pickling salt, it's not expensive. You know, buy you up quite a few. I think I'm down to 11 boxes. But guys, I've been storing this for years upon years. I am heating my water in my water kettle, okay? You don't need boiling water, you just need some hot water. Now, I'm gonna move you over here and show you how I set my canner up. Like I said, we got some new canners, ladies. So I wanna kinda take the time to go through a little bit of the canner that I use. So y'all just hold tight, my old faithful canners. We got young ones out there. Oh boy, y'all bear with me. Okay, there is water in here. There is a notch that sits on the side. It is an indicator for 3 quarts of water. Now, let me share some with y'all. Okay, it could be the leveling of the stove that you're using, but I don't think so. I used to use 3 quarts of water. You know, quart jars that you would can with. And I happened to look down. Now this is, I don't know, it's been some years back. This last one was bought in 2015, I think. Yeah, because the other canner was old. So it's about 7, 8 years old. Anyway, I got to looking and I said, wait a minute. 3 quarts is not bringing it up to the notch. And sure enough, I dumped it out and I remeasured, and it was not even with the notch. So now what I do is I pour my water till it hits that notch. Now you can use a true quart measure, which I have one and I've done that and it's been perfect. But guys, a quart jar, unless you fill it to where it's pouring out, you're just filling up a jar. That's not 3 quarts. So keep that in mind, you young canners. When you see people do 3 quarts, hey, there's nothing wrong if they're comfortable with that, but that is not actually the true measurement. There is a line, there's an indicator in there. The newer canners have a pretty good indentation, so, you know, even Lippy could really see it without going, hey. But I mean, I can see where I need to go to see where the line is. Now, the next thing I did, okay, is I oiled, using olive oil. This was put on in August. I changed my rubber gasket. So I knew when I put it up it was clean. I washed this and let it dry, and then I come in and put a little bit of olive oil, okay, because you don't want it dry. Then, right here is where your tattler goes. Okay, guys, you have to look and see if you can see through it. And yes, I've already done this. I can see through it because a lot of times those will get clogged, especially if you have hard water, because you're going to get some enzymes and stuff on your canner. That doesn't affect it. That just means you're using, just, you know, keep it clean, but you're going to have some imperfection, water spots, things like that, depending on what type of water you're using. But really and truly, that gasket, and making sure you can see through it. That's your 2 key things. Now, I'm going to show y'all something else. I see a lot of people struggle with their canner. You put the lid on, it's like, wait a minute, it ain't. And then they have to turn the pot around. Let me show y'all something. And then you don't have to worry about fighting that lid. I know I used to do it all the time. And I was like, wait, they have something here for a reason. In this one, I don't think maybe all of them are made like this. But at least if y'all are using a Presto canner, it's probably going to be like this. And you won't ever fight that lid thinking, uh-oh. Because what happens is we're putting our pot backwards of the lid. Because on the lid it says open, which is towards you, close, which is away from you. Watch this. Right there. The writing is usually on the left, and your lock is going to be to the back side. I told y'all I'd have about 3 quarts. Well, I got exactly 3 quarts. Now, I mix these. These are the Cherokee Yellow Wax beans, the Contender Green beans, and the Gold Rush beans. And I mixed them. So, those are sitting in the jars. Now I'm going to move to the carrots. And I'll drop the camera and show you how I do the carrots coming from the cold water. Like I said, I'm raw packing these, but the method's going to be the same as far as the amount of salt and the hot water. Now, some people, you know, they say recommended you don't have to heat your flats. That means the lid that has the rubber gasket's called a flat. The other one's called a ring. Y'all have seen me can many times. I do put warm tap water on mine, meaning the hottest that my tap water is, I will soak mine in that. Not boiling water, just warm tap water. It's a lippy thing. It makes me feel more confident, okay? I'm sorry, but they say no need. I'm just going to take the extra measure. So I'm going to get these carrots. So we've got 3 pints. Means we need 6 pints of carrots. I'm going to end up with more than that in carrots. But that's okay. I'll do something else with the rest of them. Also, y'all have seen me use this ivory chopstick as long as I've had a YouTube channel. I've had these things for over 20 years. That's the best debubbler. Now, you could use the wooden ones. Well, I don't know, because when you're adding salt to your jars, especially canning salt, I just don't know what it does to the wood. You know, does it open up the wood? Does that invite things into the wood? I don't know, guys. But I know I use an ivory one. Now, you can get these by a 6-pack for a little or nothing, but they are the ivory ones. That's my debubbler. Okay, going in with my hands, just shaking off the excess. And that's all I'm going to do. That didn't take long. And I ended up with this many carrots. So, this is going to be incorporated in this week's menus. So now it's time to add some salt. So I'm going to line all my jars up. Got my hot water sitting over here. And that fancy dancy tea kettle the Scots got me. I keep calling it a tea kettle. It's a water kettle. Tea kettle, water kettle. It's whatever you want to call it. All right, let's get the salt going. Let me see. All right. I got my canner sitting on a 4. Water is just warm. Not hot, it's just warm. Because this is going to be hot water. Makes the jars hot, warm. I don't want cold water in there. I don't want any shocking. You need same temperature, okay? Okay, I got my jars sitting here. And to each pint jar, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon canning salt. Now, you can add the salt before you add your vegetables. But I add mine at the top because that hot water is going to dissolve it anyway. Now, if you were doing quarts, you would do 1 teaspoon. I'm doing 1/2 teaspoon. I've got some 5% white distilled vinegar. And all I did was add a splash to my water that's in the canner. What that's gonna do is that's gonna keep that old film and white chalky looking stuff off your jars. I love this pitcher. And guys, it don't weigh nothing. Now I'll come in and debubble, and we may have to add more water. Okay, we got all our water in here, and I'm just gonna come in and debubble, and this is when you can tell if you need to add a little bit more water, and I will on this one. Not much. About like that. Okay, we've debubbled, and now it's time to clean the rim of the jars. And it's also a good time to double check, even though you need to check when you wash your jars, for any nicks. Now this is just white distilled vinegar on this paper towel. Put my lids on. And remember, the green beans is 20 minutes for a pint, but I'm gonna go 25 because that's what the carrots are. Now we're gonna get our rings on. You do not wanna crank these down. You just want finger tight. Watch, that's it. Because if you crank them down, you're gonna buckle your flats. Now we've got our 9 pints. I am still on a number 4, okay? Now I know that my lid is on, okay? It's sitting, let me scoot you back so you can see. You see it's sitting opposite of each other. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up, but I mash the top as I bring it in to make sure it's got a good seal. Now I know that my canner, or my stove, its sweet spot for canning is a number 8, and then I will dial it down once we start getting some pressure in here. But I'll show y'all. Okay, I got my mess cleaned up. Like I said, I'm sitting on right at an 8, and the only thing we're waiting for is this to start making a steam. Once it starts making a steam, and it's a steady steam, a one that you cannot break down with your hand, we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. But I'll bring you back once we get to that steam. Okay, we're at a steam that I cannot break down. So now we need to set our timer for 10 minutes. Okay, we've vented for 10 minutes. I'm going to add my tattler. And I'm going to watch for 10 pounds of pressure, which I always bring mine to 11. But my main indicator is going to be this tattler. I don't want it going crazy. I wanted it a steady jiggle, but I'll show y'all. But right now, we're waiting for it to come up to pressure. And I did dial my stove down to a number 6. We've reached our 10 to 11 pounds of pressure. Our jiggler is where it's supposed to be. Now we set our timer for 25 minutes. Now guys, don't walk away, because you've got to adjust your stove if you've never canned on it. My number is now at a number 5, and I'm where I'm supposed to be. We reached 25 minutes. I turn the stove off, and this is where you walk away. You want this to completely go down to 0 pressure and your tattler to completely stop. That's going to take about 30 minutes. It took about 25 minutes. As you can see, we're at 0 pressure. The tattler was still. Now it's time to get the jars out. And there you have it. Those green beans are beautiful. The multicolor they're inviting. So, but I wanted to show y'all because I'm sure you got a peek. This is some strawberry jam that I put up this morning. We went to the strawberry picking and the boys got them some strawberries. Well, what they did need, 2 half pints. I made sure to put a little sugar on them, some lemon juice. I let them sit 2 hours this morning while I was working. Put them over in my pot. Brought them up to 221 degrees like I showed y'all the last time. Canned them up, water bath for 10 minutes. So that's 2 more half pints of strawberries. I try not to let anything go to waste. And of course the strawberries would not have been good come this weekend. So yeah, that's 2 more jars added to the storage, to the pantry. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased. Very pleased. Now, I won't always just do small batches like this. But I knew I had the carrots, so it happened to work out great. See that fly? Now, as the green beans start coming in, I'll just put them into a freezer bag, put them in the freezer, and as I get a mess, as I call it, a full can or about, and then I will go ahead and can them up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed canning with y'all. Supper, sitting over here, was out of this world. Let me show y'all what supper was. Look, y'all. Can you see that? We had some leftover rice from Saturday because Cameron wanted rice with his pintos. Took the rice out, cut up an onion, maybe about 20 shrimp. Had some peas and carrots, a little ginger, a little garlic, and basically I made a shrimp fried rice. There again, no waste. And I used all the rice, and now there's leftovers for Buddy to take to work tomorrow. So, I done ate, but this spoon is looking really good. But as always, yeah, y'all see I have something in my ear. I was trying to edit while he was watching something. Some kind of news thing or whatever. But, so, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And I will see y'all, it'll probably be Thursday, but we will see you definitely, did I even say, definitely Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time for our live. No one will ever know. Bye, y'all.